Welcome. I am Johnny Stanson. We have Reginald Perryman, Shaka Williams. We are Tasari, and this is a There's Something About Real Estate podcast where we talk all things real estate. Hey,
What's up? They had the BET Awards.
All right.
All right. What's up? How y'all doing today? What up, though?
Doing good. We got some.
I'm a little tired. I've been issuing pre-approvals all day and all night.
That's awesome.
I'm a little sleepy. I'm a little tired, tanned, obviously.
I somehow have become a landlord overnight.
Yeah.
Welcome to my world, new world.
Yeah.
And I'm tired.
You're a landlord?
I mean, I've been a landlord, but Jesus, we like
property management company.
We increased, but there are properties.
Right. Oh, y'all got rid of a property manager?
No, we only had a few properties like individually, but now as a collective, we have a bunch of properties, and it kind of happened in like the course of, in like a quarter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in about a quarter.
Okay.
And so getting the properties, getting them, that's probably the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that a little bit on the next one.
All
but
right.
That's just all I'm saying is that's how it's going.
Right.
Okay.
But Erica got the money.
I got the
$25,000.
money. I got the dough.
Detroit,
$25,000. Detroit's down payment. No, how do I say it? Detroit's $25,000 down payment assistance.
All right. So it's up to $25,000.
Up to $25,000.
Right.
You
don't
have
automatically get $25,000.
It's however the loan officer structures it.
Okay. Well,
All
what
right.
do you mean by structure, like for our audience?
So, for instance, you only need about $12,000 to $15,000 to buy, let's say, $150,000 house.
Right.
So you could just take the 15 and be done with it, or you can take the overage, the 10,000 that's left,
Right.
and you can apply it towards the principal. So they call it a principal reduction.
Okay.
The principal. What about the closing costs?
Yeah, so the 1015, I'm sorry, includes the down payment and closing costs.
Right.
Because you don't need $25,000 to buy in Detroit, right? You
Right.
only need about, $250 might put you, or $300 may put you needing about $25,000. The average buyer is $150, $180.
Right.
You don't need that much money. So if we were to, as loan officers, just use just enough,
Right.
we would have more home buyers. So I think it's like $7 million.
Right.
280 buyers out of 7 million, whatever. So if we would only use maybe 15, we could have more home buyers. But I mean, at this point, we're using the whole 25.
So y'all kind of just jumped right in there. Can you explain what it is that we're talking about? So so we're talking about grant program. We're talking about the $25,000 DPA or down payment assistance program that is offered. And is this for we're in in Michigan. Is that for Detroit only?
It's for Detroit only and Detroit residents only. So you have to be a Detroit resident for at least a year or have lost a property to tax sale between the years of 2010 and 16, if you can prove it.
Right. So those were like the down years pretty much.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So experiencing some sort of hardship. So like step by step, what would you say step one is to start qualifying for this loan? Like what does a person do?
Pre-approval first.
So get your mortgage pre-approval. So
yes.
Get in touch with the loan officer, I guess preferably Erica Simpson.
Yes.
And start that qualifying process.
So hold on. So is the qualifications the same? Because
it's like any other grant where you have so if you were to get approved for FHA conventional, you have to follow those guidelines, and then on top you have to follow Detroit's or National Faith's parameters.
Right.
So whereas there's no limit on a debt to income ratio, with National Faith or with the Detroit program, it's at 35. FHA doesn't have that cap of 35%.
But that's on the front end.
That's on the front end. They don't care about the bottom.
So let me back up for our listeners. So if I'm a buyer the first step is to go get pre-approved for a loan, period, right? And then you apply for the 25,000 down, or simultaneously. At
Well,
the
it's
same
time. So the lender shouldn't
Right.
understand and know the parameters for the Detroit program.
Right.
So while I'm pre-approving, I'm also following their parameters while I'm doing the pre-approval.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so that's what I'm asking though. So normally, you would have to show 3% or 3.5% down.
Not
Do you have to show that
necessarily.
now?
No, it's still, the down payment still remains at 3.5.
Mhm.
But if you were to get the full 25,000, obviously your down payment is probably going to move more down to 12 or 13 or 14%, because I'm going to apply the majority of that money towards.
Sheesh.
It's
so
gonna buy your principal down.
It's
gonna
So
buy the
like,
principal
if
down.
you buying a small, let's just say use a $200,000 loan or whatever, and then you have your minimum down. A person may have a 7,000, but now they got 25. So now they're not gonna be financing 93,000. They're gonna be financing maybe 185,000 or less.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
just less. So
Yes.
you're gonna take all that money.
And you can purchase more at that point, because now we're
Oh, yeah,
dropping
you're
that
doing the
principal down.
reduction.
Right.
Yes.
So now you
basically-
qualify for more.
Yep. So basically, buyer comes to you. They get pre-approved, 180,000. They may need 10 or 15,000. They need their down payment, closing costs. This 25 will cover the down payment and closing costs, but it'll also reduce that $180,000 principal down as well. So that impacts their monthly payment. They'll have a
Everything.
lower monthly payment and everything.
Yeah,
Reserves.
and ability to be approved.
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm saying.
yeah.
That's what
You
I'm
can also
asking.
buy
Like,
down point. You can use it to buy down
that's
points
crazy.
too.
You
Okay.
cannot. Why would you not buy a house now then? Then there would be no reason in the world not to buy a
I
house.
don't
Right.
understand.
So-
it.
Unless you can't.
One of the qualifications and requirements is they have to have lived in Detroit for the past 12 months. So this is specific to Detroiters that stayed in Detroit, that's committed to staying in Detroit. But what are the other qualifications?
First time buyer.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm.
So to be considered first time buyer, you can't own a property within 3 years.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
Right.
There are some income limits, restrictions there. So household income.
Okay.
Um,
Now,
and-
household income, is that, all right, my son is 19, he lives with me, and he works at Wendy's. Are they considering his household income as well?
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
So I want to back up
Gotta move.
one.
He can go buy his own
Yeah.
house.
So
Right.
to qualify for being a first time home buyer for 3 years, do they also have the income track guideline? Or not a guideline, but if you've owned a house, maybe I just sold a house, but I still want the down payment assistance program and I'm buying in a certain income track.
No.
Okay.
Because
Because Mr. has that, right?
Mr. does have that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So, household income, they have to have lived in Detroit for 12 months. What's the maximum household income per person, or how many people? How does that work?
So I think one person, 45,000. It maybe
Okay.
jumps to 57 for two.
Right.
I think 3 is 77. I've got the chart. It's not a lot,
Right.
but children are considered part of household.
Right.
So
But that helps you, though, if you have children in the house that are of working age. So, like, let's say you got 2 children and 2 adults, and you're making X amount of money. You don't, you're not over that limit. But if you got 2 adult people living with you and 4 adults, now you can easily be over that limit
absolutely.
and not qualify.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if they're making money. But
Right.
so what I'm saying is, all right. So you can now. Well, hold on. No, go. You finish up. Let me think
Yep.
about my.
So
I got a good. My question is,
we got the resident requirement of 12 months. We got household income limitations. Credit is just done on the lender's side, but it's no requirement credit wise with the
just got to
down
get
payment
approved.
program.
Period.
Somewhat.
Okay,
So the company that I work for,
right.
we have lifted what we call overlays,
Okay,
right? So there technically is no credit score requirement, but realistically, 580 is kind of where I draw the line. I am getting 580s approved, and I'm not getting some 580s approved.
Right.
So I kind of draw it there. So you're
But
putting out
that's
solar.
Okay,
You're
that's
putting
because
more
out.
on
I think you meshed something together. So
yeah, that's more on the lender side, not
That's
the
the lender
DPA
Yes,
side.
but
Oh,
the-
you're asking, do they? No,
Yes.
National
Right.
Faith does not
Okay.
have a credit score. I'm
because
sorry.
we have some other down payment assistance programs that do have
I
a
got you.
Right.
yeah.
Yep, it went over.
And-
Yep.
And the buyers have to go through some type of certification class or something like that.
Yep. So a HUD approved class. So
Okay.
whereas MISTA is accepting like the Fannie Mae education or the Freddie Mac, that's free.
Right.
This one doesn't.
Okay.
So I've been giving out the eHomeAmerica.org one is
Right.
$99 and it covers all of them. So if you decide to stack, you're covered.
Right. Okay.
And I've been doing
Crazy.
some stacking. It's doing pretty good.
That's
There's some
crazy.
people get 35,000.
Right.
And I named it Follow Up Friday
Mm.
because I wanted to give everybody till Monday to get their paperwork in because in my mind, this money is going to go fast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I'm
Mhm.
calling, I'm like, hey, it's Follow Up Friday. I need you to get your paperwork together
Right.
so you can go look at houses this weekend because we need to reserve this money.
Right.
So yeah, and I in the class. Now, National Faith they have their own packet. So this is two different approval processes. You've got the lender
right.
and you have our requirements, and then they've got their own set. And it's a longer list.
Okay.
So to agents, you don't have to wait for a clear to close from the lender to be approved for the down payment assistance.
No.
And for the buyers, just get your documents in so you can get
Exactly.
approved.
Well, find a house and get the certificate. So you can submit to National Faith with a contract, the home buyer certificate, and the pre-approval. So pre-approval purchase agreement, and the certificate.
So I have a question. You know how people are kind of like hesitant about MISTA because you kind of almost don't know where they may be at in time.
Mm.
How is that when it comes to the down payment assistance program?
Well, it's the same thing. We just have to get it clear to close first. And MISTA's going to want the approval from Detroit before we can submit to MISTA. See, the file has to be clear to close
Right.
before you
Completely
can
clear.
go completely
Right.
clear before it can go to MISTA.
How you stacking? Because you still got to put the 1% down, right?
Well, you got
Yeah,
two
but
different guides. So we're going to take probably the higher of the two. So MISTA has their 1% requirement, and then the city of Detroit has $1,000.
Mm.
So we're stacking is still going to be the 1%, which is usually covered between the earnest money deposit and the appraisal.
Right.
So we're usually covered there.
Explain
But-
1% to people, so
But
they have to have.
before you explain 1%, because he went over something that I was saying. I'm sorry. We were talking about something. Oh, I was asking a different question. The question is, so we're submitting these buyers. They found a house over the weekend, and we're submitting offers. And it's a multiple offer situation. Does a seller's agent have to be worried that this file for the down payment assistance program only, when we're just talking about the $25,000, is there going to be a delay in closing? Like, does it need to be a longer contract, a 45 day to 60 day?
No.
Right.
Okay, so
No.
that's what I'm trying to.
No, so I'm preparing my buyers now with the packet. Not even for us, because our documentation is less compared to what they want. So I'm sending them the packet that they want, which is 60 days of income, 90 days of bank statements, a tax return. They want birth certificates and social security cards, and there's some documents to get notarized. So if they can get that packet together, and then what's remaining would be the lender side, because they want the appraisal, the flood cert. They want for certain if it's they want a lot of paperwork.
So this does not have to be a 45-day minimum contract.
No, it's more about, again, setting the expectation, which we need
so
to do.
If I had sent you a buyer, you sent me a client, you could say, Johnita, she's getting down payment assistance, going through the $25,000 grant program, but this part is already done and clear, like all documents. So like I don't have to worry about putting more time in the contract in that case.
I would imagine that you still
I'm
would.
going to say no,
I-
but
I would say
because
you
of
would. No way I
what
would
we're
do that.
dealing with,
Yes.
Go
I'm
ahead.
going to say yes. And we talked about this on the last episode about getting
Right.
a little bit of support from the agents.
Mhm.
Hey,
Right.
we need you. Do you have the packet together ready for when it's time to submit to National Faith? Because I need that packet. They're going because they're
But if
quick.
you have the packet,
If I have the packet and I would like it scanned, if anyone's listening who's an agent, please have that packet scanned for your buyer so we can get it right over to them. They are quick. They respond quickly.
okay, so that's more so what
They're
I'm
like
getting
20
to.
they're in the
So
same
day
I'm saying,
response.
Yeah. If I'm a listing agent and I'm working with a seller and we have two offers, one buyer's getting down payment assistance, one is just a straight loan. As a seller, I shouldn't be concerned this is going to take
But you should.
60 days or 90
If
days.
I'm the seller agent, I would imagine you would. Like
Yeah,
I would
but
say that this is potentially. I mean, this is not going to be as easy as a conventional loan.
Well, I mean, your average loan is going to be 30 days, maybe 45.
Yeah.
But if someone comes to me with this and say, okay, we can get it done in 60 days, if it's a better offer,
Yeah.
I'm going to wait 15
because
days.
they can offer more money now.
They can
They got more money to work with,
right.
right? So yeah, that's
So I
crazy.
want to finish the requirements real quick. So the resident time frame, 12 months, household income limitations, and they don't have to have any of their own money.
$1,000.
$1,000 minimum investment, and that can be their EMD, whatever it is. They have to have a minimum of $1,000 invested, and they have to buy in Detroit, of course. Is there any other requirements?
loan amount. Is there a maximum loan amount?
That's a good.
I didn't see one.
Okay.
Well, we know that with the income limits, that's going to start
Right.
capping out
Yeah.
there.
Right.
That's what I was going to ask,
Yeah.
but the reason I didn't ask is because there's too many factors. But I was going to say, like, what type of the person with the single person with the one income household with that maximum. Let's say they don't have any other debt. How much house are they affording? Or are they able to purchase with that program? Is what I was going to ask, but it's a stat question.
Yeah.
So
I got a question. So, because this where I tell a lot of people, don't let people add you to title. So, grandma want to avoid probate, so I'm gonna put my grandbaby on the house in case something happens. If their name is on title, they're not going to qualify for the program, right? Because they're a homeowner,
Previously, I was saying no.
right?
I heard something, and I need to check that inherited properties
Right.
would not disqualify you from being a first-time buyer. I need to check on that, but I did hear something about it because that's really not fair.
Because it's the difference between a first time buyer and a first time homeowner. Maybe
Right.
that's what it is.
Yeah, so
Because some
they're
people, right,
it's something going on with that.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're letting that be a little loop because it's not fair. Grandma should be able to lead her house.
Well, if grandma's still here, she just added
The
you
bird,
to the deed,
yeah, the bird,
or the
yeah.
ladybird deed, right?
Yeah, I think that would be acceptable.
So, in other words, before somebody adds you to title, they need to talk to you first. Like if I'm a buyer, I'm planning on buying a home in maybe the next 6 months, but grandma want to put my name on her house in case something happened. I might need to discuss with you, hey, I'm looking to buy in the next few months. How would this impact me?
Absolutely.
But you're not a first time home buyer though. But yeah, I mean, I guess it would be better to check it. But you're not a buyer, in that you might own it. You may be an owner, but you didn't buy it.
But some programs, they're owner specific or first time buyer.
And this a
You
buyer
can't be on the
program,
deed
right?
because they'll say you can't be on the deed
Yeah.
of a
Mhm.
property.
Yeah.
But this is this DPA is you say you got to be the qualification of first time home buyer.
Yes.
Right.
So yeah, that shouldn't.
Yeah. It's a wordplay.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Homeowner,
Semantics.
home buyer.
Right.
When we pull the title,
They
Yeah,
You own a
because I
house.
know
Right.
for a fact Mishta won't allow it. In certain instances, obviously you got those little loopholes and things, but I'm just saying they also it's supposed to be a first time home buyer program.
Yeah.
So
And they still ain't doing it.
$7 million.
$7 million. I did the
calculate.
math.
Oh,
I I did it yesterday.
So 280 people can buy a home if everybody's maximizing the 25,000. But if
Yeah.
everybody's not maximizing the 25,000,
That money getting ready to run out.
Yeah.
Fast.
It is. It is.
But it's been coming back around pretty swiftly, seems
It's
like.
the second round, right?
second round, but it took 6 months. So
Right,
7 months. Six. It was a June 26 or 7.
right.
280 is a lot, though. I mean, I know
It is a lot, but I kind of tried to do the math yesterday because I was getting a little frustrated. I don't know what our population was for according to 2019
Right.
records. There are approximately
Yeah, it's under a
736,601
million.
people, right? Whatever. So it's not a lot of Detroiters, but
And it's not a lot of people. I mean, the income qualification plus the it's gonna be a lot of people that want it, but they're not gonna be able to get
Qualified,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a lot of people that maybe would not have been able to buy a house without the program.
Right.
Does this go
280
into the
is a lot.
affordable housing
It
topic?
is. Well, no.
I mean,
But now that I did that number, I understand why some programs are zip code specific.
Mhm.
Because you got to think, if I got $7 million and I put 280 new homeowners in one zip code,
Boy,
that's going
a
to
lot of money.
impact that zip
Mhm.
code.
You got a lot
Right.
of tax income
But-
coming in.
Yeah, that's good.
there's something else too. You know that 25,000 is forgivable if you stay in the property for 3 years.
That's important. Why you ain't
Yeah.
say that?
I wanted to just put it out there.
That's crazy.
because that's what I was
That's
gonna
the most
ask. Like, is
Because
it
we're talking
actually
about
free
free
money?
Right.
Yeah, because definitely don't want to say it's free and it's not. So it could be free money.
Potentially.
Meaning, like, you can get the grant. It could be forgiven, so you don't have to pay it back.
Well, technically, it is still free because even if you sell in 2 years, you never came out of pocket. That money's getting paid off from the sale of the property.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
but a lot
still
of times
free
people will still look at it after. So, like, you're right.
money. Yeah.
But when they go to sell, they will still look at it like, man, I gotta pay that.
You ain't, yeah,
But
you
you
do.
ain't
You had to
paying
pay
it,
that
though.
money
That's-
that somebody
That's more
gave
of
you.
a feeling than the act.
It is.
Because, like, here's the reality. I purchased a home for $180,000. I got 25,000 down, so I pretty much got in a house for $1,000 plus principal reduction. Let's say the reduction was 10,000,
Mhm.
right? So now my principal balance is 170. I sell it after 2 years. Maybe I sell it for 220. Where did I spend money at? I only spent $1,000.
So that's
It's
gonna
a-
buy your rate can go down and everything. I mean, you
Yeah,
gonna
you
qualify
can
for
buy
a
down
better
your
rate,
rate.
and everything.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Sheesh.
So where did I lose money at? Even if you had to pay it back.
I mean,
Even if you did, because we put so much, you already
Right.
purchased in the house with equity, like you said.
Right.
It's just a win-win.
it's a super win because I'm
Right.
saying you qualify for a lower rate because you put more down,
Right.
And you are buying down your rate.
Yeah, I mean, even on the low end, right? I'm at 6 and an eighth,
Sheesh.
right? At these 580 and 600
Right.
credit score, 6.1.
What do you
Damn.
feel like your most successful situation has been since you've been closing these loans with the $25,000 down payment attached to it?
You said
Your most successful transaction that you've had, like where you felt like
She stacked it and got that
It's-
35,000.
that stacking is the bomb.
That's crazy.
I mean, just $35,000.
Right. So you
That's-
got the down.
that's the-
You got the
That's
Detroit.
$35,000.
Then you got what was it, Mister?
Mister,
on
yeah.
top of it.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out we could stack because we've got some grants too.
Yeah. Some.
I was
other-
trying to find out if we could stack to 6,000
Right.
with it because we got a home ready first,
Right.
5,000, and the lender gives 1,000, and we give back the appraisal and the home inspection, the home warranty.
Right.
I'm like, can we stack it? I'm doing research trying to find can we get up to 41,000?
we should ask our one
And
student
it's
if they want to
funny-
buy that house.
But here's the thing, let's
The one
not
that's
be
already moved
greedy.
in.
Here's the thing. I've been telling the
The one
clients,
that's
don't
paying.
you don't need that much money.
Right.
You don't need to be
Oh,
greedy,
right.
right? I would love for you
She
to get to
paying too much.
25,000.
Right.
She can buy that.
But we don't need to keep stacking because it's still a seller
Yeah.
that wants their house
have a question.
sold.
Right.
Everybody still wants to get paid, and the more we start stacking,
Mhm.
the time can start.
Add
Right.
up.
So I just told the
yeah.
buyers, don't get greedy. Now, if time passes,
Mhm.
I'm dropping Mister.
Right.
You just gonna get to 25,000.
Right.
Can you attach this to a construction loan?
I don't think so. No,
You're getting super creative.
you're getting creative now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's something I was thinking about before the show
Creative
because,
financer, you.
hey,
Say
it's the era I
But
come
they
up
could buy a
in.
new construction home if the price is right and they qualify for it.
Oh, for
right?
sure, they can do
Yeah.
new construction.
New construction is different than
Right.
renovation. So, like, I have this over in Detroit. There's a seller. The house needs renovations. She wants a certain amount, which is still below market, a lot below market, which would be perfect for a person that wants to do a rehabilitation loan. But now, if that person could also have that down payment assistance attached to it, it would be
She wouldn't even need a construction
joy.
loan.
There's
She
no
don't
one
need
to
it no more.
service that
Right.
loan,
So,
right? A renovation. So renovation loans, the money has to be held by the lender,
Right.
and the money has to
So
be
they
given
could
out in
use it on a
draws.
203K loan.
They can do a 2 or
But
3
that's what I'm saying.
But
Until
yeah,
the
you
down
are,
payment
it's in the
assistance.
equity.
yeah, it's nobody financing it. It's nobody
No.
gonna hold that, wait for that renovation to be done.
No, what I'm saying is if they got a 203K loan, can they use the down
No.
payment assistance?
That's
They
more
can't.
so what I'm talking
No.
about.
so
No.
But what you
they
could
wouldn't
do
even need it though.
is what you could do is if you got a certain contractor, they can do the repairs and get paid at closing, and you increase the sales price.
Let's see.
So like if
Those
the
are the
house,
type of things that and that's very
Say it
legal.
again. Say it again.
so if the house is 150,
Mhm.
let's say repaired is worth 180,
Mhm.
and you put the 30,000 into it, your contractor come and fix it, and it's worth 180. You buy it for 180. The contractor's going to invoice the seller at closing
And
the
come on.
30,000.
And come on now.
And now the buyer got the house designed the way they want
Sheesh.
and everything. And the contractor is somewhat secure because they're going to have a lien on the property anyway. They invoicing the seller.
He just put flippers. That's a flipper.
I
That's
want
a
to flip
flipping
to
hack.
Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I want to flip.
Reggie is real estate.
Come on, Reggie is real estate.
That's
What a
flipping
great
hack.
Don't
That's
sit
how-
here and act like Johnita ain't just sit here and start
Right.
that propulsion, that
You
pedalum, you
Right.
know,
You got it,
propeller
swinging.
going.
But see, this is why agents are important because you have to know the right contractor that's willing to do that. You have to have a mindset to do that deal.
That's a
And you
gamble.
have to get the buyer to see the vision and be able to do that because there's a lot of homes on the market. They're not depressed, but they're like borderline where they can still qualify FHA, and maybe they only need 10,000 in repairs to make
Man.
them.
That's a gamble though for
Lender
the
approved.
contractor.
Yeah, I mean, but everybody's not going to do 30,000. But the homes that only need like 10,000, maybe the electric box or something like that, or maybe just the roof. Sometimes the house is great and the roof is bad.
The roof and update your furnace and your AC.
Yeah, or it
Yeah.
might not even be. I mean, I went into a house where the furnace was within 5 years old, hot water tank. They just couldn't afford to do the roof. So you got a situation like that. That buyer come in and be like, hey, we're going to increase the price of the house by the cost of the roof. Get somebody to come in and do it. And they do the roof after you get the clear to, you're not going to have to clear the close, but you get your appraisal. Everything is set. Lenders say, okay, the only thing we need is reinspection on that roof. Call a contractor, get it done. Close in
They're
2
gonna have to
weeks
put that
after
money
that.
in escrow or something. I don't know. Because
Yeah,
what if it don't sell?
We do it all the time.
What if for whatever reason? So
It
I came
don't
in and I
close.
did the work and now it don't close.
But you still got a $10,000 lien on
I
the
do,
house.
but I gotta wait for that house to sell before I get paid. So I get what you're saying, but yeah, that's.
But I
a
mean,
gamble.
It's
If you got-
it's a way to create more inventory in that way.
maybe
It's just
you
a way for
upcharge
that.
it a little bit
Gonna do
because
that
you're
anyway.
holding it.
You're going to because you financing it now.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to upcharge it, but I'm still concerned about getting my money at the end once
That's
I'm
why
done.
you wait till a certain point before you start the work.
Like when she's all the way through, and the only thing that you need is a reinspection or something.
Right, exactly.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's the only condition you're waiting on for a clear to close.
Right.
Do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, bottom line is get those. You better get this money before it's gone.
Listen, I did a live yesterday or the day before. I was so tired because I really am so excited,
Mm-hmm.
right, about this 25,000. Like I ramped up 2-3 weeks ago about it before it was even announced. because I had a little birdie tell me it was coming.
Yeah.
So I tried to get it amped, but today I've been calling people about the paperwork. So again,
they're not even taking it
they're
serious.
not even taking it serious.
Crazy.
I cannot.
What is wrong with you?
Believe you can get a house for $1,000.
I'm trying to think of somebody.
You do know that we're refunding anything that you put in over, just like I do the mixtures. You're getting that money back anyway.
Right.
If you put in 2, I'm giving you $1,000 back at the table. So you walk
might
away
be
with
able to
funny.
use this.
Did y'all
She made
see
so
on
much
the
money.
news where they said
Yeah, they all make so much
Detroit
money.
is one of the most overpriced housing markets now?
Yeah, I think that's crazy.
We giving people $25,000.
I don't even think that's real. We should have an episode about that because I want to talk. I don't think that's real. I want to see how.
It might be in certain areas. In certain areas of Detroit, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like where?
Price is ridiculous.
Like where?
Corktown is ridiculous compared to where it used to be.
Woodbridge, Corktown.
Yeah, it's like what are we buying here? Because you're looking at price per square foot, amenities, and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
I can definitely see that in certain areas.
So do you think that the price per square foot there is more than Ferndale?
Yeah, I can believe it.
You think so?
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Amenities and everything, school system, all of that. Yeah, well, I think you can consider that overpriced.
Can you say that?
Well, I hear what he's saying. He's throwing there. He's saying, all right, Ferndale.
Do we need to make a correction there? School systems. Hey, we don't know about the school systems.
Well, I'm just saying everything that people rate.
Y'all need to go check them out yourself and see how they rate it. Hey, y'all, that's rap.
All right.